MSME are the backbone of our country. More than one third of India's GDP comes from the companies in the MSME segment. And in today's podcast, we have Bhushan Padkil. Bhushan leads a direct-to-consumer business at TransUnion CIBIL, and he has access to thousands of MSME businesses and understands them deeply. We deep dived into the world of credit and decoded the financial infrastructure for success in the MSME segment of the country. What is an ideal credit score one should have?
Oh, it depends, right? It depends upon banks and NBFCs and fintechs because everybody has a different criteria for or risk appetite, right? When it comes to individuals and their applications and what kind of scores that they want to underwrite their loan applications on, right? But if you're closer to 900, better is your risk.
Correct.
Right? So higher the score, better it is.
How do you define an MSME?
Okay. If you look at a classical definition, right, and a definition by our central bank, that defines MSME as a micro, enterprise, as somebody with capital investment of up to 1 crore and turnover of up to 5 crore. Right. When it comes to small enterprises, again, investment of around 10 crore and turnover of up to 50 crore. And when you look at medium enterprises, the investment in plant and machinery is up to 50 crore and turnover of up to 250 crore. So that's the definition of MSMEs.
5 trillion की जो हमारी इंडियन इकोनॉमी होने वाली है and Prime Minister of the country has been talking about it since a couple of years now. उसमें आपका क्या व्यू पॉइंट है? What are the levers that we need to reach the 5 trillion economy? Where do you think your role is there in terms of reaching the 5 trillion economy, and how can we make it possible?
Also, a lot of questions in one question, but I'll try and tie it up to the topic that we are discussing today, and that's about MSMEs, right? So the dream of our Prime Minister of Vikasit Bharat in 2047, right? 5 trillion की economy बनानी है as quickly as possible by 2030 or so.
Yes.
For that, what is most critical will be the role of MSMEs, right? They not only revenue generators, but when it comes to manufacturing those goods and services and a large employment that they generate, they play extremely crucial role when it comes to our Indian economy as such. And when you talk about our role, credit is a way to grow for these MSMEs. Their road to growth is paved through credit, and that's where we work with larger financial ecosystem in creating greater financial inclusion opportunities for these MSMEs, and getting them a cheaper access to credit and faster access to credit. I think that's where we play a vital role as a bureau.
Correct.
TransUnion CIBIL as a bureau, right?
So for the basic understanding, usually we get a credit score, right? 900 का जो होता है, जो हम check करते रहते हैं with credit cards and all that, कि मेरा 800 है, 700 है. ये क्या है? Difference क्या है? What is credit score? What is credit rank that you mentioned?
Good question. And this I get asked a lot, right? What is the difference? I think that simply put, the difference is in audience.
Okay.
Right? Now, if you look at when it comes to individual, right? For individual, it is his CIBIL score, right? Which is his credit score and his credit information report. Correct? Now, for individual, the score ranges from 300 to 900, and higher the score,
The better
it is for you, because lower is the risk associated with you. So if you have a high score, there's a higher chance that bank will look at you positively, and you have a higher chance of getting access to the credit on the favorable terms.
Correct.
Right. On the other hand, when it comes to MSMEs or the rank that you mentioned, right? For MSMEs, for individual, we had a credit information report. For MSMEs, you have company credit information report, right? And similar to a CIBIL score, for MSMEs, you have CIBIL MSME Rank, CMR.
Okay.
Right? Now, this rank is given between 1 to 10. Now, if you remember what I said earlier, the score is between 300 to 900, and higher the score, better it is.
Correct.
Lower the risk associated with you, better you
Yes.
have performed when it comes to your loan obligations. But for MSMEs, the rank is between 1 to 10, and lower is your rank, closer you are to 1, better you are when it comes to your performance.
It's reverse.
So it's reverse, right? And
Got it.
better are your chances to get loans at a favorable.
So by audience, you mean CIBIL score? The audience is an individual.
Individual.
In the rank, the audience is the MSME, the
Absolutely.
company.
Absolutely. I think you simplified it.
Got it. Okay. So 300 to 900. ये तो I think it's a good. सबको पता ही आजकल कि मेरे पास credit score ज़्यादा है तो I'll get a higher amount. I'll get a lower interest rate.
Yes.
That's the same logic which applies now to the MSMEs also. That if I have a lower rank, then I'm getting a better loan interest rate. Okay. If I go to a bank, because you guys are, and just connect the dots for me. But for example, if I am a MSME, like Finit is an MSME,
yes,
I go to my bank and I tell them कि मुझे loan चाहिए 5 crore रुपए का. They will give this. They'll ask for data from you कि CIBIL बताओ इसका rank क्या है. How does that process work?
Oh, again, another extremely important questions when it comes to what common people want to know. From the, let's say, this conversation. When you apply for a loan, right? Whether it's an individual loan or it's a loan that is getting applied for an entity or for MSME, right? Banks do, as part of their due diligence, they do look at a lot of information, right? One of the critical aspects of that due diligence is looking at your credit information report and your score. So if it is individual loan application, banks, NBFCs, fintechs definitely look at your credit information report, and they look at all the information which is provided in the credit information report. So it has wealth of information.
Right.
It has information about your demographics, your ID details, right? Your contact details. It has information about the various types of loans that you have taken and your performance on the loan, different credit inquiries that you have done in the past, right? Banks do use that information along with the credit score. Now, credit score is something that we provide, and that summarizes the credit information report.
The data TransUnion CIBIL gives.
Yeah.
Score.
Right. So when it comes to individual banks, look at these, and when it comes to MSMEs, when you apply, part of the loan assessment, banks, again, NBFCs and fintechs who operate in this space, they again look at company credit information report in the same fashion. It has again details of the loans, firmographic details, and details about the loans that company has taken and how company has performed against those loans as such when it comes to repaying back. And it also has the CMR, which is CIBIL MSME Rank.
Okay, so again, to simplify, if I go to a bank and I ask for a loan of 5 crore, they will check my rank. They'll reach out to you and they will likely tell me the Front Foot Media Private Limited, what is their rank, CIBIL rank, TransUnion CIBIL rank, and then basis on that they'll tell me कि मेरे को loan मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा, higher interest में मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा. अगर for example if I am at a 1 rank, which means I'm a very good company, my financial credit worthiness is very high,
yes,
so I'll give you a loan at a lower interest rate. And if it's a 5, then of course मेरे को बहुत ज़्यादा interest लगेगा. Yes. And that is the gap which a lot of MSMEs are also facing when it comes to, उनको पता ही नहीं होता है कि उनकी financial well-being कैसी है. और एक तो हो गए वो 3.5 करोड़ लोग जिनके पास है ही नहीं access. Then एक जनता होगी जिनके पास access है but उनको ये knowledge नहीं है. Correct? Am I getting this right?
Yeah. So a lot of what you said is absolutely right. And I think what we can simply put is, if your rank is low, if you are MSME and if your rank is low, then the risk associated with you, credit risk in a banking terms, credit risk associated with you is low.
Correct.
Obviously, the loan terms will be favorable for you.
Correct.
And same goes for individuals as well. Higher your score, better is your credit worthiness, lower is the risk associated with you, and your loan terms will be favorable. There is a higher chance that you will get access to the credit that you have applied for. So what I would definitely suggest and recommend to our audience here is be aware of your credit information be aware when it comes to MSMEs, they should check their report regularly. They should look at their rank regularly. And as leading credit information company in India, and as oldest credit information company in India, we are celebrating our 25th year next year, right?
Nice.
We have our consumer touchpoints like CIBIL.com. We have our app, right? So MSMEs can go to CIBIL.com and they can look at their own credit report. They can look at their own credit CMR, CIBIL MSME Rank,
Okay.
right? And one thing to be noted is looking at your own credit report and your own CIBIL MSME Rank will not lower it. That's again a myth that people have, that looking at your own
Oh, I know that.
report does lower it. No, that's not true. In fact, it's a very healthy practice, right? So in order to have that great credit information report or company credit information report and CIBIL MSME Rank, it's very important to, I think the first step is becoming aware
Right.
where you stand, right? And doing everything necessary to make sure that you have good CIBIL MSME Rank and you have a great company credit information report and you have a complete control on your financial journey.
True. Can we talk about the challenges also that a business owner faces as an MSME when it comes to credit? Like, what are the challenges that I would face when I go to a bank कि मेरे को loan नहीं मिल रहा है? Let's talk about both the segments. The segment in the informal lending which are out of our area, and we ideally want them to come in our area so that we can help them, and then the people who are already in our system.
So I think
One I think you mentioned earlier कि trail नहीं होता है.
Yes. So when it comes to informal lending, or rather, let's talk about segment which have not had access to formal credit, right? Some of the aspect that hinder their growth and access to credit is basically not having enough paper trail. They get access to credit, but that's from informal mediums, right?
Relative से ले लिया,
It doesn't
वो सब.
have paper trail, and if you don't have paper trail, you're not able to establish or provide evidence
By
of
paper trail, what do you mean by paper trail? Like invoicing का कागज नहीं है, like what does that mean?
a lot of these financial transactions, a lot of the loan performance, for example, if they have had access to credit even from informal sector, and if they have paid it back, they don't have a evidence to show their credit discipline when they apply to a bank or a formal institution per se, right? I mean by that, right? So I think that becomes one of the big aspect, right? Unavailability of data or the information asymmetry is one big area, concerning area, right? When it comes to a very small enterprises who have not had access to lending per se. And I think the way it can change or the way it can be addressed is if these enterprises can take benefit of various government schemes, and even fintechs, right, have started participating
100%.
when it comes to MSME lending. And some of these new avenues can open up opportunities for these small MSMEs to get that loan and to start a formal trail, right, of credit performance, and then eventually getting reported into credit bureau.
Correct.
And then build up from there.
Right. I want to go back to the MSME rank part. Can you share more details? You were in between talking about going to the website and checking all that, but what's the process like? How can, as an MSME, credit score, we fairly know about it, but as an MSME, how can I go? How can I utilize the website? How can I understand my rank? Do I get a report? Do I get an email? What do I get? And how can I use that to either improve? What's the process like? If you can go details into it.
Good question, and it's fairly easy, right? You can go to CIBIL.com, any of the MSMEs, if they want to check their own CIBIL MSME rank and their company credit information report. I think the step number one is to go to CIBIL.com.
Okay.
And through CIBIL.com, using your company name, and we have created a very simplified journey to get access to your company credit information report using a simple if you have a GSTN number,
Hmm.
right? Using that, you can pull your credit information report, right? Simple details you can fill up, and a few easy
Hmm.
steps,
Hmm.
and you can get access to your company credit information report. And that report comes with CMR,
Got it.
right? As long as your company credit exposure is below 50 crore, we provide the CMR because it's CIBIL MSME rank, right? So as long as your credit exposure is less than 50 crore,
You mean
you get a
loans
CMR.
less than 50 crores? What I've taken.
Yes,
Okay.
aggregate loan exposure is less than 50 crore, you get CIBIL MSME rank.
What should I look at in the report? What are the major report? Like, is it like a very detailed report? I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff there. What are the key things I should look at, and how can I improve it? Like, what are the factors which affects my rank? Like, a lot of people with just score के लिए आप initially talked about it, right? कि सब सोचते हैं score क्यों affect होता है, क्या होता है, payment late करना, बार बार देख रहे हो तो बढ़ रहा है. If you can talk about these two things, factors affecting it, and what I should look at
Again,
in the
good,
rank.
very good question. Now, there are various sections in the report, but let me simplify it. Some of the aspects that one as MSME needs to look at, right?
Hmm.
I think the most important aspect of the report is around the loan information,
Okay.
right? Different types of loan that you as a MSME have availed in the past, and your performance, right? So in the company credit information report, along with the firmographic detail, along with the company details as such around the if the company is proprietor, partnership firm, and then various details about your loan information, how you have performed against those loan provided,
Hmm.
and your repayment track, right, which is provided in the company credit information report. Using this and your different inquiries that you have made, for credit, the most important aspect is the loans which are reflecting in your company credit information report,
Hmm.
and how your performance has been,
Okay.
because that's something which will get considered when it comes to your CIBIL MSME rank,
Got it.
right?
Okay.
And as long as you have a good repayment track, you will
These are
have
the
a good
factors.
CIBIL MSME rank,
Hmm.
right?
Okay. And how frequently should one check this?
Oh, I think there's no thumb rule, but at least once in a year. But I suggest that it depends upon where you are in your credit journey.
Hmm.
I suggest once in a month, once in a quarter.
Okay.
But if not that, at least once in a year, right? And if you are trying to get a credit ready, right, more often than that.
What happens in case of a company which has never taken a loan or have applied for a loan? Like, for example, in my case, I've never taken a loan or even applied for one.
Mhm.
In that case, also, will I be getting a rank, or that only begins after I've ever taken a loan?
Like I mentioned earlier, the CIBIL MSME rank summarizes your credit report and your loan performance. So if you do not have any loan track record,
The
right,
journey
or
hasn't begun.
yes, if you have not participated in formal credit,
Got it.
then you will not have CIBIL MSME rank.
And where are the primary places credit score, like individual use their credit score to take loan?
Again, another good uh, aspect. Now, credit score are not only important when it comes to your loan application, but there are a lot of applications of credit score in one's financial life. Let's say, for an example, you're applying for a critical job. In a lot of places, credit score is actively referred.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Another important aspect is, let's say, if you are creating a project and you're applying for a loan application again, your credit score will be referred. That's an obvious use case, right? So it has wider applications today, and it talks about how credit worthy an individual is, right? So,
and the primary effect of that is the interest rate. Like you if you get a loan, you'll get at a higher interest rate if your score is less. That's the primary factor.
Yeah, depending upon financial institution to institution, whether loan should be granted, and if it is granted, then on what terms. Now, interest rate is one term, tenure
Fair.
could be another term, right?
Fair.
So a lot of those terms can be decided basis your credit score and credit report. So better it is, lower the risk associated with you, better and higher the chances of you getting loan at a favorable term.
Now, I've seen a lot of companies, a lot of people in general who will come to you and be like, hey, I can help you improve your credit score, which will then help you get a better loan, etc. etc.
Yeah.
How true is that? And does an individual like me or a MSME like me even need external help? What's the truth or like steps behind that?
So at the outset, my recommendation will be, you don't have to rely on a third party uh, to get awareness about your own score.
Okay.
Or if you are MSME, to have your own credit report and CIBIL MSME
Fair.
Rank,
Yeah.
right? CMR. You can go to CIBIL.com if you are MSME and get access to your company credit information report and rank. And if you are individual, you can go to CIBIL.com. You can download our app on Android and Apple devices and get access to your own score and report by completing some easy steps. I think that's the first step to improve if you want to improve your score, or if you want to improve your rank. I think
so. There's no external help required per se.
Yes.
To like nobody can come and improve your score from 600 to 800 just like that. This is the only way to do it.
Not the only way to do it, but a recommended way to do it.
Got it.
And it's fairly, if you are a credit aware consumer or MSME, it's fairly easy to do it.
From a MSME perspective, like if I take my company's example itself, होता क्या है कि credit में लेना पड़ता है, right? Like for example, if I sell something to a client worth 1 CR, they'll pay me after 30 days. They'll pay me after 60 days. And I have a vendor list to pay right now. And that creates a cash flow problem कि मेरा पैसा 90 days बाद आ रहा है but मुझे पैसा 30 days में देना है, and that 60 days creates a negative cash flow for me, and that is why capital इतना important हो जाता है. Like without capital you can't pay salary, you cannot expand, working capital problems, right. Cash flow problem, and that's where again your rank is so important, correct? And that's where the MSME also struggling, and a lot of MSME shut down because like in our case we still are in the creator digital space. तो हमारा तो फिर भी we don't have to buy products. Our services are digital.
Yeah.
So it's still fine for us. But MSME, like little companies and factories and who are selling products, उनको तो payment पहले करनी पड़ती है. उनके लिए काफी important है from a perspective.
I think you picked up a very important aspect. Being aware about your own credit and credit management is extremely crucial aspect for MSMEs and individuals alike, right? Like you said, and in one of our first conversations, I said that for MSMEs, their growth is paved through credit.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is exactly that, right? So just to give you some numbers around it.
Yes, please.
I spoke about CIBIL.com and CIBIL app. It is available on both Android and Apple devices. If you compare between MSMEs and consumers, we have near about 13 crore individuals who have had accessed their own credit information report and score in the past.
Okay, so you're differentiating between individuals and MSMEs.
But when it comes to MSMEs, only 60,000 MSMEs so far have accessed their own report and CIBIL MSME Rank. Okay. Right?
You mentioned 13 crores for consumers and 60,000 for MSME.
And let me give you a little more information about it. Now, if you look at those 13 crore individuals who have had access to their score and report, on directly with us on our CIBIL website or CIBIL app, or through our partners, right? But if you look at them in a broader picture, so for an example, when it comes to Consumer Bureau, we have more than 65 crore individuals on Consumer Bureau that were reported to us by different financial institutions. And out of that, 25 crore individuals have live loans with them.
Okay.
Right? And then you compare that with 13 crore individuals accessing their own credit report and credit score. So nearly 50%.
Yes, 20,
of credit active individuals.
More than that, in fact.
Yeah. Kind of had access to their own score and report. But if you compare the same, statistics
for MSMEs
to MSMEs, 3.5 crore MSMEs are reported to us, But if you look at MSMEs with live loans, today, if I refer that number, that's close to 90 lakh MSMEs. A few simple things that individual or MSMEs can look at when it comes to improving and maintaining a very good credit profile and very good credit score or rank. And that is one, access to credit, do it judiciously, pay on time, right? Complete your loan obligations. And, third is be aware of your credit information, right? When it comes to your own company credit information report, individual credit information report, company rank, and when it comes to individual, your CIBIL score. And, do all the steps necessary, as I discussed before, to maintain it and continue to improve.
So this is again the individual audience, and specifically Gen Z audience, which is extremely credit savvy.
Yes.
In this case, what happens, I've seen friends who have credit card have not done really well in terms of payments on time and all that, and they have a low credit score. What they do is that they will go and get another new credit card, and they will feel that now my credit score is better, I'll perform better. So two things. Number one, how true is this? And number two, how can Gen Z audience who are 20, 22-year-old who don't make a lot of money, maybe 20K, 40K, 50K a month max, what can they do to build credit?
Again, another good question. And so pertinent when it comes to talking about Gen Zs and young population who want to come into formal credit as such. So simple way to build your credit report and credit score is getting access to credit, right? If you are young and want to avail your first credit, I think easiest way to do it is with, let's say, if you have a savings account with a bank, apply credit there, right? Even if you don't have a formal credit, there is a higher likelihood that depending upon your financial data, bank can give you access to credit. There's a higher chance that credit can be approved there. Another way to do it is, today a lot of fintechs, a lot of banks are providing credit when it comes to this consumer durable loans. These are short term, small ticket loans, and the access to that is a bit easier than the high ticket loan as such. So young people can start with these options as such.
Correct.
Start small, but start strong. What I mean by that is, even if the credit period is small and the loan amount is smaller, right? You should always make sure that you pay on time. Maintain the credit discipline from the word go.
Got it.
Because a good performance or good loan track or repayment track is something that will help you to build that good score, right? Coming to your another question, right? If you have a bad credit history, and if you are taking a new loan, first of all, when you apply for a new loan, and if you already have a bad loan, right, lenders will account for
TransUnion CIBIL will catch you there.
where your report will reflect that. And lenders will always look at your repayment track when giving you access to loan, right? So first step is getting back on track, right? Paying that loan. Maybe if you have many such loan, the good idea is consolidate it, right? Sometimes when you have many loans, many credit card, it becomes a little difficult to have that discipline to make sure that you have those monthly installment paid. So it's very important that you maintain that discipline, right? Sometimes you have these digital reminders or default setting when it comes to loan payment and credit card payment. Enable that, right? And that's how you can build a good credit history as such.
All right, thank you so much for this. I think for me, what stands out is the same which I mentioned a while ago, the journey that whatever growth you guys are getting can directly proportionally relate to the growth of the country and growth of MSME, because of how directly credit is important and finance is important, and finance and credit is at the end enablers of growth.
Yes.
So that's for me stands out, and then the story of that guy also.
Thank you, Ayush,
who went
for putting it that way. And it was pleasure to be on this platform and having this wonderful conversation in evolving world of credit. Right? Thank you so much.
अगर आपको ये बिजनेस पॉडकास्ट पसंद आया तो आपको आई बटन पे क्लिक करके हमारी प्लेलिस्ट देखनी चाहिए, जहाँ पे हम बहुत सारे फाउंडर्स को बुलाते हैं अलग अलग इंडस्ट्री से और उनसे बात करते हैं एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के बारे में और उन्होंने कैसे स्टार्ट किया। इससे आप सीख के आप भी कल खुद का बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर सकते हो। सो आई बटन पे क्लिक करके वो प्लेलिस्ट ज़रूर देखना।